This is a Hustler 340. Well, I got another project here. So I picked up this mower here. It's a Hustler 340. It's got a Kubota diesel engine in it. It was locked up. I've kind of started without you. What I did was on this side, it had a battery in it. It was in pretty bad shape, so I went ahead and fixed the battery cables and went down here and got the new battery cable ends on there and took the top hood off because it was kind of in the way. I had it aired up, the tires aired up, but they went flat right away. And so this is all the controls. Well, it's most of them. There's one over there for the PTO engagement, but let me get this out. This is my key. Alright, so I picked this up as a non-runner, and it actually wouldn't crank when I got it. So what I had to do, I still haven't figured it out. I've got 12-volt power and start here, but there's another yellow wire here somewhere that comes over and feeds into this yellow wire right here. Runs up through that harness and comes back over here, but I can't seem to find it. So I've got to look for it and see if it's like a safety switch or something here that I don't see. But anyway, I went ahead and put a jumper wire from there down to the starter. Now, when I first started messing with this thing, I couldn't get it to crank. So then I fixed the start wire. But one thing too is the engine would turn, but it would lock up when I start to crank on it. So I figured something was wrong. So what I did, I pulled all the glow plugs out of it. You can see the wires are off the glow plugs. They're all, they're not exactly hand tight, but they're kind of a pain to get to, honestly. That one's not too bad, but this one here, you've got to pull the air intake off and use a wrench. This one back here, you can use a socket on. So I pulled those out, and number 3, this cylinder number 3 right here, which is this injector, it came out wet. So then I went ahead and cranked it over, and coolant shot everywhere. It looked like coolant, it was green. So I blew it out real good, cranked it over a few times, and then put the glow plug back in and cranked it back over. It still had compression, it still sounded good. So ran my starting fluid on it, and eventually it started to start. It blew black smoke all over my shoes, and but it ran. Now today I haven't started it, and the antifreeze hasn't come down any, so I don't know why there's going to be antifreeze inside the cylinder other than a blown head gasket. So without the glow plugs being on, let's see if we can light this thing off right fast and see if it'll start as good as it had been. Put my key in there. It needs glow plugs. smoky.
I think there's a bearing in that PTO unit that's going out. And it doesn't have a shut-off from the key.
You have to flip that back, so I've got to deal with that. Looks like something's missing here. It must have gone to that. So I'll have to look into that. Looks like it's going to need a fan. Somebody definitely got something in there. I don't know if they dropped something in there and it hit it on the fan blades a few times before it got stopped or what. But it's an as-is deal from an auction, so you never know what you're getting. All the tires were flat. When I got it, it looked like it had been sitting in a pretty bad spot. I might have a picture I can show you. This one's still blown off the rim. It's got a tube in it, but it may be no good. This one aired it up yesterday and it's pretty much almost flat. Now it also has a mower deck that went with it, but I wanted to take it off and tinker with this thing before I messed with the mower deck. Let me turn that ignition off because it's still got glow plug light on and the alternator. Look at this crazy pump. Okay, I need to get my pliers back together here. There we go. So it's got input here from the belt. It must have a combination of I know this is a pump here, and I think it's got a pump right here. This might be just a valve block. But I think these are also pumps because they feed the wheels. That's what your steering is controlled by. And it actually was out on my other part of the property, and I was able to move it into this position here by driving it. It did have flats, but it drove. You can see kind of the tire tracks right here. Kind of skidded it around right in there. At least that tire did. So aside from the obvious issue of it having coolant in number 3 cylinder, the thing runs. I mean, it seems to run good. It seems like it's running on all 4 cylinders. I let it warm up yesterday, of course off camera, and I really felt like it was okay. It seemed like it was in pretty good shape. Now it has a cooler and some other stuff in behind here. All this stuff kind of moves out of the way if you need it to, and then this thing will flip up, but it looks like it's kind of jerry-rigged. So I'm going to see if I can get parts for this thing, see if I can get tires, things like that. Now one thing it has that I think might be convenient, it has hydraulic right here. I'm not sure exactly what that consists of, but I wonder if you can put like a snow blade on it, or you can put a mulcher deck, or you can put any other deck on this thing, or any kind of an attachment, honestly, as long as it'll fit here. Now this is all cable operated, this lift assembly here. I don't know exactly where that all comes from, except it has, see, it's got that cylinder right there. So as you raise and lower the cylinder, these come up and down through a series of cables. So that's going to make me wonder as to how much weight this can handle. Let's see that wiring. Look at all that right in there. That's going to be a mess to get through. I might have to get a pressure washer over here and clean this up real good and then sort through it. And then there's some stuff up inside here. I'm not sure what all this does other than the lights. There's a switch and some other things. And then this drive shaft here, I pulled that off the mower deck. And we'll go look at the mower deck in a second. And here's your mower deck. And you can see it's in pretty rough shape. You can see they've used some different type of metals there to get that all put together. And then it's got holes worn in a side of it over here. But the one thing that it has, it's a problem. This unit right here, this transfer power unit, whatever it may be, you fill it with oil, but it's seized up. So it's going to have to be dealt with. Probably have to pull the top plates off of it and see if the bearings are gone, because it's a three-way deck. So I have to see what we can do to maybe rebuild it if it's rebuildable. We need tires, they're about $40 a piece. Get the tire and rim, but I'll probably put airless tires on it instead of these. Well, that's kind of it for the series. We're still going to do a willet start on that Toro over there. Anyway, here's your thumbs up. Thank you for watching. Like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.